I had an affair with Jennifer Flowers for 10 years, but when I found out it was wrong, I quit. That's what he said in one interview.
When I found out it was wrong.
Yeah, when I found out it was wrong. Yeah. I've never seen a man, and you know what? It's not just Mr. Clinton. It could be a real good conservative Republican. See, I'm not for any of them. I don't believe any of them. I don't believe politicians. They're there for one purpose. You give them $10,000 a year and tell them they got to put a sack over their head and get no glory and use a fictitious name. How long they're going to stay there and serve the people? They're not going to be there. They're not going to be there to serve the people. Now, through his policy he shall cause craft, deceiving, fraud, and treachery to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and it means to, that's the word gadal, it means to twist and be large, to promote, to tower. And we get the word Migdal from that, and you remember that they built him a city and a tower, and the word tower is Migdal. It means a rostrum, a pulpit. What was the message of Babylon? Let us make us a name, pride. Where do we hear that more than anywhere in the world? In America, self-esteem. This is why the prophecy teachers can't find America. They're looking for a good place and a good thing. It's not in the Scripture. So they're not looking for the harlot. I believe we live in the harlot. I believe this is we have the very system of Rome. We've got their Senate. We've got their emblems on our standards. We got their American eagle. We got their unholy days, the Christ Mass. We've got the Ishtar. I mean, the Baptist Church 300 years ago didn't participate in the Christ Mass. They fled Europe running from it. We are totally corrupted, and we're so blind we can't see. Isn't that what it is in proud? You remember the word proud? Tufao means to blind in a smoky haze. America don't see. We can't see. We can't hear. And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Without hand means to completely cease, a cessation. He's going to stand up against the prince of princes. And I said this before, and I like what Alexander Hyslop says in his book. I mean, I'm not going to get to this woman till next week, but I'm going to read about her here in just a minute. I like what he said. The way you attack a man, you attack his wife. And the way that they're going to attack Jesus is they're going to attack the church. That's what they're going to do. Now let's go back over here and we'll read a little bit of this and we'll stop. We'll come back next week. Because I want to read out of this book. The old ancient system of Babylon, they had all these goddesses, and she was called a mediatrix, and in the ancient world, Mylitta was the female mediatrix because she could gain favor with the gods. And what was it Roman Catholicism formed when they brought Mary into the church? They made her the mediatrix, not the mediator. And Mylitta was the mediatrix. And she had another name, S-E-M-E-L-E, and it translates image. She was the image in Babylon. Babylonianism is Catholicism. And now it's so seductive, everybody's looking for it to rise out of literal Rome. Babylon is a spiritual system of self and wealth, and let us make us a name, and let us rule ourselves. It's diabolos and daemon. It's what it is. Now, I'd be taken out and hung 30 or 40 years ago for saying this. I believe we live in the most evil system in America in the history of the world because we say, I can have everything I want and I can serve God too. We can have a mixed religion, can't we? That's what it is. This is a mixed religion. It's giving in marriage. It marries truth and a lie. At the end of time, they'll be eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage. And that's why Ezra told Israel when they came back from the captivity, get rid of your pagan wives. The woman or the mother stayed home and instructed the children, and when she did, if she was a pagan, she'd mix up a little bit of truth and a whole lot of her lie. And that's what we got in America.
The lust of the eyes and the pride.
That's right. We've got a mixed religion. We speak Jesus with the mouth and God with the mouth, and we don't do His words. We all believe in a Jesus, but it is another Jesus out of the 11th chapter of 2 Corinthians. It is the devil transformed in an apostle of Christ, and it's no wonder that his ministers are transformed into angels of light. The word transformed means disguised, masked. Boy, that goes back to this morning, doesn't it? Whew. Boy, America is in trouble.
Well, didn't he tell us to be not of the world?
That's right. That's right. But you go to churches and men are living so high and nobody's talking about dying, because when you start talking about dying to the flesh and taking your cross, you got to say, I have to utterly contradict me, and that's what that word deny is there in Luke 9:23. It means utter contradiction. What does that take? It takes an everyday trial, doesn't it? Let's go back to the 13th chapter of Revelation. Then let's look some more at this. Next week I'm going to come back and read out of here about the man of sin. The man of sin was here in the garden. The man of sin, the first man of sin was Cain. He took on